What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Olu. I'm coming at you with another YouTube video today. Today we're going to be focusing on specifically the Q&A questions I've received throughout this week. First question, should I keep a serious mindset and be as serious as possible with no humor when training? Is there any benefit to being serious, or is it not healthy? That's a really good question, and I'll answer it directly and then I'll go into a little bit more detail. I never think, and this is my own personal philosophy, I never think it's beneficial to take yourself too seriously in anything that you do, whether that be track and field or anything else. Because oftentimes when we take ourselves too seriously, and what I mean by too seriously is when, we're overly critical of ourselves when we are doing less than optimally, if that makes sense. If we think we're doing bad, we get to become too hard on ourselves. Or maybe if when we're joking around and having a little bit of fun that should be permissible, we tend to try to crack down on ourselves because we shouldn't be having fun. We should be serious. It's all about business, business, business. And I will say there is a time and place for that. But I will also say I personally do not believe it's healthy, specifically mentally healthy, to take yourself too seriously. Why? Because life happens. We cannot control what happens in life, right? The way I like to look at this is, especially if you're in high school, you want to make sure you're surrounding yourself with people, training partners specifically, who mirror your level of commitment to the sport. And in those moments with people who are like-minded, if you guys start joking and having a little bit of fun at practice, at the very least, you know that fun isn't taking away from the mission at hand. That's what's most important. I was recently a part of a training group where I'll be closer to the people who matched my work ethic, who matched my hustle, who could push me and I could push them, who if something happens, like maybe we trip and we fall and we're clumsy, we can laugh and joke about it, but then we can get back on the line for our reps and we're putting in work and we're right back to the game plan. So it's important to surround yourself with those types of people. As a professional athlete, I have the ability to do that maybe more so than a high school or college athlete, because if I'm in a team or in a group of training partners that I don't like, I can leave. But if you're in high school, do your best to carve your own lane with a certain group of people that who are like-minded. And if you can't do that, don't be afraid to go it alone. All right, question number 2. What is the mindset you need to have to overcome hard training sessions? Step 1 is to accept what's in front of you, accept what's immediately in front of you. Again, like all this mindset coaching I'm giving you guys, what we're talking about on the track applies to life off of it as well. You got to accept that if you got to run 10 300s, you got to run 10 300. It's going to suck, right? Sure. But once you accept the difficulty that's in front of you, now you are giving yourself the leeway to begin focusing on getting through it. Case in point, I used to hate running stadiums. In fact, I think I still do hate running stadiums. So every time I run a stadium workout, I have to remind myself, okay, I hate stadiums. Stadiums used to be my kryptonite. Used to, because how you frame things is very important. Your words are powerful. Stadiums used to be my kryptonite. I hate them. It's the only workout that's ever made me puke in my 18-year-long track and field career. Even though I really hate stadiums, in a weird way, I kind of like them. Why? Because it's a challenging workout that I know I can kill it every single time. When you find ways to deprogram or remove that programming of thinking that something is going to really suck before you've really done it, you are on the right path to overcoming the mental challenges of a workout. Always change how you perceive an upcoming challenge, and all of a sudden those hard workouts become a lot less hard. And question number 3, the last question of today's video, is how do I train my mind out of feeling inadequate? Y'all, you guys asked some really deep questions. So I'm assuming these feelings of inadequacy are related to your track career, just given you're asking it in my YouTube comments. But whether we're talking about track or something else, it's all the same thing. The challenge you're tasked with when you're feeling inadequate for any reason in any aspect of life, at least the way I see it, anybody else could answer it differently, but you've got to stop comparing yourself to others. You got to start tuning other people out and living in your own lane, doing your own thing according to your own standards. Now, this is a double-edged sword, because on one hand, let's talk about the easy side. Comparing yourself to others. Maybe it's not so easy, but there's so much stuff and information out there for you to compare yourself to other people. So when you can start to catch yourself in the habit of doing so, now all of a sudden you're saving that mental energy that you would be redirecting you towards yourself in a negative way. If you start to catch yourself in those loops of self-talk where you're almost denigrating yourself, well, now you're starting to break the habit of comparing yourself to other people. Redirect that energy in a positive direction. Remind yourself that you are on your own path and your accomplishments that you've already achieved and the ones you're going to achieve are meant for you and are going to be great. Now, this sounds really like nice, soft, and fluffy on the surface, but if you do the true inner work and really start to make this way of thinking your lifestyle, you'd be surprised at how much easier life becomes and how much easier it is to not get caught comparing yourselves to other people. Now, here's the other side of that double-edged sword. You also don't want to get caught in comparing yourself to yourself too much. It's super trendy to say, I'm my own worst enemy, or I'm in a lane running against myself, or any other version of that. If you get caught in comparing yourself to yourself too much, in comparing yourself to your past achievements, and hanging that over your head if in the present day you haven't lived up in air quotes to your past achievements, you're self-sabotaging. Think about the statement, it's me versus me against myself. Does that really make sense? Is that really a life you would like to live? Wouldn't you like to be for yourself instead of against? Think about how that feels, really. Anytime you're working against something, you're trying to prevent something from succeeding. So if it's you against yourself, well, you're literally telling your subconscious mind to stop yourself from succeeding. Keep in mind that feelings of inadequacy are always a matter of attention that is being directed in the wrong place. The last time I set a personal best in the triple jump was in 2015, September 2015. In fact, it was about 6 calendar years to the day almost. There was a time where I was beating myself up about that big time. It was embarrassing. But now here I am talking about it openly on YouTube because I've overcome that. And it took a lot of inner work to realize that I was comparing myself to my past self in a negative way. Yes, it is beneficial at times and with moderation and with intention to reflect on what you've done in your past so you can adjust and learn in your present. But when that reflection starts to turn into self-loathing, it's a slippery slope and a downward spiral that you have to catch yourself in before it gets out of hand. So it's not fair for me to compare 2021 Olu to 2015 Olu as if it's apples to apples when nothing is even the same. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys gained some value out of it. As always, if you liked it, hit that like button, subscribe. It's helping the channel grow. We are getting very close to 1,000 subscribers, and we're gonna keep on pushing till we get over the hill. All right, guys, I appreciate you. Love you. Take it easy. Peace.